We're going to be looking to see in many different ways whether or not um, you know, an equation is or a graph is a function, or that if you're given some sort of expression like y equals some function of or some expression dealing with x, whether or not it's a function. Determining if things are functions or not become helpful and needed because sometimes, if you have a situation where you don't have a function, that you may not be able to graph it very accurately. I mean, most computer programs are set to graph functions and very little of anything else. So it becomes important for you to make sure that you do know, um, whether or not you have a function in front of you. For a graph standpoint, um, first of all, like whether something's a function or not means that every x value produces exactly one y value. So as long as the x value is in a domain, if it produces a y value and only one y value, it's a function. From a more graphical or pictorial standpoint, it means it passes the vertical line test, which means that I should be able to draw a vertical line through the graph anywhere, and it only intersects the graph once, if anywhere. Okay? If I have a situation where I could pass a vertical line through the graph and it intersects that graph in more than one spot, then it's not a function. So when I look at vertical line tests on these, so for A, if I move that vertical line all the way through, each time it's only intersecting the graph in one spot. That's a function. Whereas if I look at B, if I just put a vertical line through there, I see it's intersecting in two spots. There's other places it would do it too, but it's intersecting in two different spots. That's not a function. The circle, very similar. If I put a line through there, I'm intersecting that graph in more than one spot. That's not a function. D sometimes throws people off. They get up to here and they say, "Oh, it's intersecting in more than one spot." But the thing you have to be wary of is that there was a hole in one position, so that point is really not there. So it's passing through a placeholder, not an actual point. There's only one point at x equaling 1 on that graph. So at this place it passes the vertical line test, and as I keep going through the rest of it as well, it only intersects the graph in one spot. So that being the case, this is a function.